Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be starting a small Ramadan series. The first thing on our list will be egg rolls and samosa fillings. So we'll be doing a chicken filling for the egg rolls. Now the ingredients are garlic, carrots, cabbage, of course chicken, and salt and pepper. There is a tomato shown there, but that is not necessary if you don't want to put it in. So of course over here I'm just showing you how I slice up the cabbage. For the carrots I show you two different ways. You could actually cut them julienne or you could just shred them. I prefer shredded. It's easier to cook and it doesn't take that long to soften the carrots. Next up is that we heat the oil, throw the garlic in there, let it fry for a little bit. You're not making the garlic brown or anything, you're just getting the aroma out. You throw in your chicken, you cook that. Now you have to cook the chicken a little bit before you put the carrots in. So right when the pink color starts going away and you start getting nice whitish color of the chicken, then that's when you throw your carrots in. You mix in your carrots, you make sure they're nicely mixed in, and then you are going to steam it or let it cook for a little bit. So you could, if you cut them julienne, at this point you would want to put the flame at a medium high heat and then cover it for like 2-3 minutes. If you didn't, then you just skip that. You don't need to steam it for a little bit. Now I put 2 teaspoons of black pepper and 1.5 teaspoon of salt right before I added in the cabbage. Now there's not that many seasonings going on over here because the cabbage and the carrot leaves these really nice juices that mixes in with the chicken. So you don't need extra seasoning. But if you do like more seasoning in your spring rolls, egg rolls, then in that case you could throw some soy sauce in here or some hoisin sauce to give a nice Chinese touch. Then once the cabbage is in there and nicely mixed, you steam it for 5 minutes just to get the cabbage a little bit limp. Then you keep stirring it to make sure that there's no water left over. And remember not to put too much oil because you are going to be frying these. Alright, the next filling that we'll be doing is a samosa filling. And this is also a meat, so we'll be using ground beef here. Now, first two ingredients we'll be using is garlic and ginger. Again, just like the one before, we are not browning these. We are just frying them enough so the aroma starts coming out. So it will be just lightly fried before you put in the ground beef. Now, the ground beef, I usually wash it a few times before I put it into the pot, just so that if there's any extra blood in there, it gets washed out. So if you do not use whole garlic or whole ginger, you could use the garlic ginger paste. That will be only 1 tablespoon. But if you're using garlic paste and ginger paste on like 2 separate ones, then you'll only need a half a tablespoon of garlic and then a little bit extra of ginger. So you won't be a full tablespoon, but it'll be a little less than a tablespoon. Alright, so once you put the ground beef in, just shake it up a little bit, then start throwing your seasonings in. What we use here is whole garam masala. I will list those down below. And I put in chili powder, ground coriander, ground cumin, salt. Okay, so next step is that you need to cover it and cook it for at least 10 minutes on medium high heat and just keep mixing it around every few minutes. Now I actually tasted it halfway through and I needed a little bit more of the cumin and the coriander, so I added that while I was cooking. Of course, if you feel like you need more, you could put some more. Now all you have to do is just keep on mixing and just make sure that the water is drying up. One tip that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, when you are cooking fillings for samosas or spring rolls or egg rolls, whatever you call them, just make sure you're not putting too much oil in the beginning, because if you have too much oil, oil doesn't evaporate, it stays on. And then if you are, especially if you are frying them, you're gonna have too much oil and then it's just going to upset your stomach. Now I did add more peas towards the end over here is because I actually like my ratio of meat and peas to be half and half, but if you do not like that, you don't need to add the peas. Originally the peas are 1.5 cups. I added around 2 cups in total. Now peas were frozen, so I did cover them for a little bit to make sure that the peas are soft. Now just dry up the extra water and you are done. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.